Kind of along the lines of this, I don't know if you saw this, TJ, but CBS Sports put out the best college sports programs across the board for 2022-23 athletic season.
Okay.
Our cross-state foe, the Tennessee Volunteers, we're number one on the list. Basically, the criteria take into account the results of your athletic teams, including men's football and men's basketball, and then 2, what they label wild card sports. So how well your sports teams did.
You just like pick a random sport? Is that how that works?
Well, I guess you take the 2 that finished or had the most success throughout the year. So in Tennessee's instance, men's basketball, they got 128 points, obviously making the Sweet 16. Women's basketball, I think they too made the Sweet 16. Is that right?
Did
Yes, they did.
Have they been? I thought they kind of fell off a little bit.
No, men and women's basketball. So the football team obviously finished number 6 in the AP, beat Clemson in the Orange Bowl, 11-2. Great year. Men's basketball team made the Sweet 16. Wild card sport women's made the Sweet 16. And then both of I don't know which one of these they took, but their baseball and softball teams both advanced into their respective college World Series events.
I mean, that's pretty good. But also at the same time, like, I think that's kind of the power of being in the SEC or like a big conference.
You say that. Our TIGs were listed 54th overall. Not bad. Kind of where we feel like we probably would fall, right there in the top half of the 128 or however many FBS schools there are. Just 1 spot ahead of fellow
Kentucky,
SEC
something like that.
foe for the Tennessee Volunteers, Auburn.
Okay.
2 spots ahead of Tulane, who, mind you, went to the Cotton Bowl. 3 spots ahead of Iowa State, 4 ahead of BYU. You're ahead of Arizona State. You're ahead of UCF. You're ahead of Wake Forest. Arizona, who's potentially going to the Big 12 because they're better than you. Disgusting. Ahead of FAU, they're 65th. Ahead of Texas A&M at 70th. We're ahead of some good programs. Nebraska, California, Texas Tech. That's a Big 12 team.
Who put this out?
CBS Sports. And it's all only based around the last athletic season. So it's only 22-23. Though, obviously, this will be redone based on the results of this coming year's football and spring sports. But interesting little ranking system they got there.
No, it's definitely interesting. And I would have thought that any of those SEC programs were going to be much higher. Big Ten, SEC, any of those conferences that just have so much more money than everybody else.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, football is king, right? Even if you're a bad SEC team or a bad Big Ten team, you're still just making money hand over fist.
Yeah.
And you're able to just bring in more money for other programs because you can pay better. You can pay for better coaches. You have better facilities, things like that. So a little shocking to see Auburn. I don't want to say down so low because it's exactly where Memphis is, but lower than I would have expected.
But given the resources that they have available to them.
Exactly, because they have that many resources. So in my mind, I look at Memphis overachieving because we honestly don't have those same resources and those same facilities and things like that. And I don't know.
I wonder what our
I'm a little shocked.
It doesn't tell you. It just lists the wild card sports. I wonder what our 2 wild card sports
Women's
were.
soccer.
I was going to say rifle, dude.
No,
Does
it's
rifle
definitely.
count?
I don't know. The wild card sports have to come from. It's definitely Kenny is all over it. So the wild card sports are, gosh, I keep jumping. Baseball, softball, volleyball, soccer, gymnastics, lacrosse, hockey, and wrestling. So 100% girls soccer. And then maybe
They weren't bad at volleyball this year. Maybe volleyball. So is it two wild card teams?
2 of those that are listed. Yeah. So you definitely soccer, and then we got one more. Maybe volleyball. Maybe
They were they were one of the top.
Kenny's a big volleyball guy.
I don't know how our gymnastics team is. Do we even have one?
No.
Maybe it's baseball.
I would suspect.
And you know it's not rifle.
We got 50.
Air rifle is like 15-time national champion.
We got 50 points for both of our wild card sports, which seems to be pretty good.
Interesting.
We got 10 points for women's basketball, 50. So this gives you a metric here. Men's basketball got 50 points. So our other two wild card sports also got 50.
50 each or 50,
50
between
each.
the two?
No, 50 each. So on par, whatever the two wild cards we took we're on par exactly with men's basketball.
Wow.
Which makes sense because the soccer team made the NCAA tournament, right?
Sweet 16.
Yep.
Yeah, they did and lost in overtime to Arkansas.
And they're nationally ranked starting. I mean, their season starts up soon.
Yeah.
They're nationally
Yeah.
ranked too.
Football is on par. It looks like if you just make a bowl game, you get 62.5 points. There's a lot of 62.5s on
Good
here.
at that.
So
Wow.
I bet it's volleyball. I bet the two sports are women's volleyball and women's soccer. I would suspect for Memphis.
that's not bad.
Gosh, that's how random.
The
But
ladies over
shout
there.
out to the Lady Tigers.
Yeah.
Are we still calling them Lady Tigers? Is that appropriate?
Lady Tigs. I think it's appropriate.
So my daughter started playing volleyball this year, and she wanted to take a couple of her friends to a women's volleyball game in the old Finch Center. Well, it's still the Finch Center, but in the old,
Wow, is that where they're playing?
yeah. And it
For the
was
women practice.
slammed in there. It was unbelievably crowded in that facility for that game. And it was against, they were playing Temple, if I'm correct, I think they were playing Temple. Fun game, man. Awesome.
Volleyball's a good sport. I love watching volleyball in the Summer Olympics.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not even talking beach volleyball is great. I just meant straight up volleyball.
Sure.